Okay, things look to be live over here on my end. What
Yep,
about you, Magus?
everything is live on my end. Just going ahead and doing the Twitch and Blue Sky thing, letting people know I'm live.
Mhm.
Yep, I'm definitely live. Hello, everybody. I'm
Excellent.
Everfree Magus, and we are playing Cyberpunk today.
Mm-hmm. And Naeruiih here. And welcome back, all my tunes, to another round of Gritty in Night City. It has been way too long since we've last done this.
Oh, it's been a hot minute.
You could say
We've done this before.
you could say this gig's gone a little bit cold, shall we say?
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
I don't have enough caffeine for your puns.
what? Can't take the punishment?
Now you
I'm
see
gonna
what
make
I
more
live
coffee.
with.
This is why I'm single.
All right, need to open up Twitch
Yes,
on my
that's why.
phone so I can keep an eye on chat.
Mm. So yeah, we are back for another session of the Cyberpunk 2020 tabletop one shot.
Indeedy.
It is good to be back.
Yep, we're back to the Northwest Passage adventure built for Cyberpunk 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've been taking taking care of a gig up in northern Alaska that has gone all kinds of wonderful.
Oh, definitely. You guys had a rather lovely landing after coming back from the rig. And oh boy, did you guys have some fun last session or now?
Hey guys, don't sniff instant coffee.
You're supposed to
I
drink it,
learned
not huff
something.
it.
I wanted to see what
Right.
it smelled like. That was a mistake.
That's the kind of thing I kind of expect Scorpio to do at this point.
That's fair.
I mean, lights of coffee like cocaine, best way to wake up.
See what I mean?
It's
He
one way
doesn't
to
deny
get
it.
caffeine, that's for sure. Yeah, maybe when it's intentional.
So yeah, last time I did indeed us surviving a crash landing because someone went and sabotaged our plane. Dealing with a bunch of bounty hunters, and fighting off hypothermia.
Yep. Thankfully, you guys were able to survive all of that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And now we find ourselves finally at the observatory you guys were making your way towards.
Mm-hmm.
After avoiding various other encounters you could have come across in your misadventure. But thankfully, apparently two of your lovely comrades sat back and watched a rather interesting nature documentary on muskox, and that saved your guys' bacon for a bit there, among other things.
I was bored. I think I was bored from.
Yep, you were. I believe it was you and Captain were the ones who actually made that check. Because Captain, I think, is the only one who actually has ranks in zoology.
I just got lucky.
Yeah. But anyways, before you all now is this lovely little installation. You see a nice big dome with what looks to be a probably very large and likely expensive looking telescope poking out of it there now. You see about it. Give me a second to pull up the actual map myself.
Yep.
So you see a large
Well,
dome,
crap.
a tall one at that now, with the telescope poking out of it now. You see a large installation there now that looks to be a garage attached to the side of it there now. That's attached to the base of the dome, or well, just off of the base of the dome there now. Looks to be a nice little setup there now. Made from solid-looking walls, and you can see the place itself. What's the best way to describe it at the moment?
We found the deranged star peepers.
You did.
Great.
Okay,
God damn
so
it, Pikachu.
upon arriving at the observatory, you'll find that it doesn't look like anyone's here at the moment. When you come to get closer to the site now, are you guys actively on guard, or do you simply walk into the site?
Probably best to remain on guard, because
Okay, you can all roll me an awareness check. Let's see. That would be, I think, so perception with awareness, or am I thinking intelligence? No. Yep, awareness notice is a int check.
so if
What do we roll?
if I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong because it has been a
Yep.
bit. It's the value of our stat for the main stat for the roll, which in this case would be intelligence, plus
Yep.
whatever value we have into the specific thing, and plus a D10.
Oh, where do we do dice? That's down live stream chat, my buddy.
Oh, okay.
So it would be basically a D10 plus your number of ranks in the skill we're doing. So this is awareness / notice, and it's an intelligence stat. So you add your intelligence bonus to that. So your intelligence bonus is basically what the stat is, somewhere between 1 to 10.
Is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much.
How smart is I? Oh no, I is smart. Oh.
And you said awareness.
Oh, Karl, you get to roll another D10 because remember we have a lovely system of exploding dice on this game.
Alrighty then.
Yep.
Just the D10, right?
Yep, just a D10. Oh, you got 8 is a popular number at the moment. Jesus.
I'm surprised I rolled an 8 for a 10 altogether.
Okie dokie, so Karl, you're probably gonna have the highest, actually at a
Yeah.
25.
Because that's a 25 for Karl. I've got 24. Rolled one short of an exploding die.
Indeed. Okay.
Oh, close.
Okie dokie. As you're looking in at the site, as you're coming up towards it there now, like I was saying before, there, it looks like no one's home at the moment. You're seeing no sign of people there, but you do notice an oddity that there's a little area off to the side here now that looks to be a helipad, but it has been cleared off, at least recently. A little bit of snow drifting onto it now, but it's not as much as you'd expect from this place being left derelict.
Especially
So-
considering the recent / current blizzard.
Yippers. But so at the earliest, you can probably say it might have been cleared off yesterday.
He said
Second,
yappers.
you also see, other than like the lacking appearance of anyone inside the facility proper, you do see a lot of snowmobile tracks all over the place.
Well, that's not good.
So no one's been. It doesn't look like there's anyone inside it, but there's at least been a lot of activity around it at the moment. Let's see. And you guys said you guys were going to be on guard when you're going in toward it. Okay.
I definitely am.
Not sure about everybody everybody else, but Holly
Didn't we
probably
get
wouldn't be on
attacked by the
guard.
snowmobile people?
You did. You got attacked by 3 bounty hunters. One of
Yeah,
which
so if
you
there's
still
snowmobile
got.
tracks here, that's likely might. Would we know if these tracks led to where we came from by chance? Maybe these are the same snowmobiles. This is
Oh,
where bounty
okay,
hunters came from.
Let's see. What kind of check would you be wanting to do for that?
Whatever the GM would like me to roll. Don't make
That's
me
why I'm
pick.
looking at all the different things here.
And we would have to do it quickly because Blizzard blowing away the tracks.
Yeah, but the thing is, even with like said, the blizzard's mostly not as bad as it was before there now. But yeah, you can still tell there's a lot of tracks here.
Shadow
That'd be
track, maybe?
Yeah, shadow track.
Shadow tracking is when you're usually like shadowing people through like a city. You're like using the crowd and such there now to your advantage alongside the buildings. So, good idea. That might be
Wilderness
the
survival?
direction we can go. I think survival could work here. That's the thing there now. I do leave it
They're
up
the
to
same
you
for
guys
me,
if
so I
you.
don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
What?
shadow/tracking.
Give me a second. I can at least look at the actual wording on the skill itself. I think there is definitely one that's better for what we're doing here, but just not where at the moment. What would be the best one? You guys can basically give me arguments that can work for any of these. More or less, I just need to figure out which would be the best angle for us. Let's see, shadow track. Skill of shadowing and following people. The skill is primarily used in urban or inhabited areas rather than in the wilderness, where the skill of survival incorporates tracking stuff in the wild, so it would be a survival check.
Okay, so that'd be like the wilderness survival under int.
Yes.
It's at the top of the second column. Like third from the top.
Wilderness and int.
I can buy that.
Yeah.
Wilderness survival requires skill for knowing how to survive in the wilds. Knowledge includes how to set traps, forage food, track game, build shelters, make fires. Ooh, okay, that can definitely work. Yeah, if you want to do that survival check, my buddy, please do.
Do too.
16.
Oh, okay. Yes, some of these tracks do feel like they're going in the right direction for where you guys were off to now. Actually, you can probably see that a fair few other tracks going off in different groups now are angled in similar ways now, but they seem to at least been heading off in that sort of direction.
Hey guys, we might have company later. More company.
But yes, let's see there now. So you did that. We're fine.
There a snowcat? We drive the snowcat.
Yes. You can see what looks to be a 2-vehicle garage of sorts to now. That looks to be where likely a snowcat is to in this type of environment.
Okay, I take it the garage then is closed for it because there's blizzard.
The door's currently closed, yes. The other doors are closed
Okay.
here too. Does anyone try any of the doors?
I will.
Okay. Which sort of door are you looking to go into? You basically got like the double doors that lead in, but you also have the 2 big garage doors, but you also have a smaller door in between. At least, actually, that could be a wall, maybe, or no, it doesn't open up like that. So then it's probably, yeah, the only one would be the actual double doors leading to the facility. They are open. You are able to open up and look inside here now into what seems to be a. Let's see. I think it's a living area. and a kitchen. So the kitchen's probably the closest thing to you because I can see where like the sink is too.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, that looks about right. Or actually, no. Oh no, I have numbers for things. So this is room number 6. So this is the living area. Looking inside, you see the living area features a complete home entertainment system, comfortably surrounded by a couch, 2 loungers, a beanbag chair, and a wet bar. You also see what looks to be some kind of mechanical device set up on the coffee table. And you do hear noises coming from it there now. Would anyone like to roll a check to see what they think that might be?
Yeah, what would the check be?
Probably a tech check, I'd say. Could be a basic tech check or electronics. Either of those could work here.
Electronics.
Like basic tech or electronics could work here. Now, like I said, I can hear like anyone has any other ideas. Now we can go off of.
Hmm.
Okay,
Like
I
this
don't
one-
know what it is, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well,
If
it's
it's a
definitely
basic-
a piece of technology.
You could roll basic tech on that then.
Yeah.
Electronics, I
basic
feel
tech
like
would-
would be more like studying a circuit board.
Yeah.
I have
I'll walk in
two.
and take a look at it.
Give me a sec. Should probably take a look. Used to be two.
Ooh, what does that button do?
Don't I'll eat no.
Oh shit! Okay, our 2-cent hacker knows his stuff apparently.
Fuck it. I
I
don't.
would say about
if
time,
with
but-
the max technology, they probably should.
Holly got a 12 on basic tech.
Am I
know
gonna have to do a
Jackson.
slap away hand?
Yeah,
I
No
mean,
to it.
she's literally doing the DD of, ooh, what does that button do?
Okay,
Slap away
so
hand.
what is on the coffee table is definitely some kind of comprehensive communications unit now, and you're hearing what sounds like a lot of like back and forth chatter across multiple different band waves. And it looks like some kind of like monitoring type setup.
Ooh.
Oh, so it's like this chatter. Is it coded in any way, or like as they're talking?
So, let's say you guys have not yet walked up to closer. You're probably just looking in from the doors at them, like on the map. So you're probably at those double doors looking in.
Yeah, hey, did we
So
even look through the room and make sure there's no people?
That's give me time.
It's like, ooh,
Like I said-
shiny.
Like I said, you saw no one in there, so that was obviously a
Okay.
thing. So, like I said, but
I'm
I just
working on
describe
it.
what was inside the room so far. So you guys did checks to figure out what's on the coffee table, so you can see that now. So you're standing at those double doors at the moment now. But yes, now that you're looking at this device here, there's definitely got to be someone here. And give me a second. Look back at who did what rows before. Who was the one that... It was Karl who rode really good. He got that 25, actually. Okay, Nay, and likely our Bean would have also... Oh, and Captain. You guys would have heard something, but you couldn't quite narrow down where it was to in here now. Karl, let's see, you scored enough just to get past the DC for it. It sounds like someone is currently off to your left in that room that's got number 2 into it. That would be the kitchen by the looks of it. You can hear someone over in there at the moment. Faintly. You caught like a quick moment of right before it stopped. So, someone is off in the kitchen at the moment.
Someone in the kitchen with Diane.
Yeah, and the rest of you just scored above 20 to now. No, you heard something out here to now, but you weren't able to quite specifically tell where in here that came from.
Hmm.
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 I'm going to move off to the left, weapon at the ready, and ready to commit violence if necessary.
Okie dokie. So Karl's doing that. What's everyone else doing? Because, like I said, you guys can still see the communications/monitoring unit on the coffee table.
I'll
Hmm.
sing that weapon guy to that. Just probably pull out one of my pistol and get a
Do a little
revolver
something.
and load a bullet in.
You didn't
Look, I
have
might
your
She's
revolver
doing
loaded?
that.
look. I might be a
Yes.
pirate, but gun
Yes, she
safety.
is.
Captain Keys?
My
Just
gun's
because I'm
always
a pirate
loaded.
doesn't mean I don't follow gun safety.
That's not gun safety. That's gonna get you killed.
Exactly. No, imagine
So,
like, what? What? You don't have your pistol
Not for
reloaded?
you, but me. You're gonna
Okay.
end up shot before
Like
you can
this, you don't
even
have your
get
pistol
loaded.
reloaded?
So,
Look, I may be a pirate, but I'm not stupid.
so
there's a
Gun
question
safety.
that does come to mind.
Is it a
Yes.
single or double action revolver?
We know that there are guys, or apparently some of us know. There's one more question. Is there a
Yes.
camera watching these doors? Facilities like this would either, cold or not, they probably have a camera so they can see anyone standing by the doors or whatnot.
1 second. I don't
Make
think
sure
there
there's no
is,
deer
but I'm
knocking on
just
the
doubling
door.
check here.
No pun intended.
speaking about knocking on doors, I think
No.
Holly, thinking that everybody, knowing that everybody else is probably cold, would be thinking about trying to go to the kitchen and getting some hot chocolate for everybody.
While you do that, August is gonna drag in our prisoner and try to get him set up on one of the living room whatevers, either like a chair or the couch. He's
Okay.
he's probably just as cold as the rest of us, but if
Well,
anyone
now
can
that
find
you're
some duct
inside
tape,
out of it there now, you're going to be nice and warm in here. This place is perfectly designed for this type of climate. As long as the door is closed, you're okay.
So I'm guessing when
all
Holly
right,
starts
who forgot to
walking,
close the door?
when Holly starts
Okay.
walking towards the kitchen, that's when she probably sees Carl's character getting all posted
Mm-hmm.
up, gun at the ready.
Okay. So Kerr's over there. Our rocker gal's next to them. Our medic, you said you went over toward the coffee table?
Yeah, with our bounty hunter buddy that is on life support.
Okay, okay. What is our kitty cat doing?
Not leaving him out.
I'm gonna go investigate the communications device.
Okay,
I say
okay.
rocker girl. Oh, I'm a nomad though. Remember, if you were talking about
Yeah,
me.
you're a nomad.
Yeah, Holly's the rocker girl.
Just making sure.
Well, yeah, I said the rocker girl over by Karl.
Oh my bad.
Okay, so Captain's there, Meg is there. Scorpio, what were you doing?
Looking for cameras.
Okay, okay. Looking around, you don't see any. Not with, like I said, the check you did before. You're not seeing any cameras at the outside nor in here. Okay. So, which group should we tackle first? The ones checking into the kitchen or the ones checking the communications?
Yeah, can always roll for it.
True, true.
Sure.
We got
One
three.
is. So one is kitchen, two is comms. Two is comms. Okay, our comms group here now. As you sidle up here now and look at this pretty nice, but like traditional, like sort of like setup here now for like a monitoring type station here now. It's definitely not something that's been here all the time. It looks like this was something someone put together in this specific spot because it's the easiest access spot now for them to set up to. As you can see, the beanbag brought over now so they could sit into it and work on it. But you hear a bunch of different noises there now, and as you're listening in there now, you hear what sounds like a bunch of different search parties. It sounds like they're looking for you guys, actually, by the sounds of it. It feels like this might be a point where. Actually, at least someone was monitoring these things, but you do see the equipment here to also respond to them too there now. But by the sounds of it, they're looking off to the west from here at the moment. From what you're able to pick up off of what's being said. What do you say, Captain?
I had to stop saying directions. I have to think too hard.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are able to pick up on this. Like I said, it's not exactly an expensive piece of kit, but it's a well-made setup there now. Someone brought this in here now and was using this place. For what purposes? Like I said, it seems at least someone's listening in on the crowd there now. You don't know, like I said, well, you do know at this point now, like I said, what these groups were looking for. So, and it sounds like the guy that you took with you guys was one of these ones there now, as if you twiddle around with their radio, you can actually click in on the right bandwidth that these guys were talking on, if you so desire. Because if memory serves me well, I don't think any of you actually fiddled around with the radios.
Ollie tried to touch it. We said no.
Yep. Everybody
But
hit.
yeah, it sounds like from these guys that are on the radio there now, it sounds like a bunch of locals that got hired for this there now, and that would correspond with what the bounty hunter mentioned you guys to there now. He specifically came up from where was it? Versus bring up the right map for myself. He said Pilgrim was where he was from. Now, our group that's going into the kitchen there now, how are you looking to breach into this room?
I've got a revolver out at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Holly could go in first
kicking the
and
door open. I was just planning on kicking the door open and barging in.
Okay. Well, Karl, you're free to go kick the door in and go on in there now, as you find a lady inside you now, as she looks to have been finishing up a cup of coffee, but you can see that it's inside of a mug that's lovingly embossed with the phrase, "To the world's best dad." It's likely one that she got from here. But you give me a second and I'll post the image of their face into Cyberpunk.
I don't judge one way or the other.
Okie dokie, this is that one. Boop.
Oh crap, we shot the dad, didn't we?
He shot at us. I'm sleeping fine.
Okie dokie.
he shot first.
So, looking at her, you see she's in an armored t-shirt at the moment or now. She's got over by the door that you just came in through. It looks like there's an Avengers Arms rifle just left leaning up against the wall there now. But she does have on her what looks to be an observatory uniform. Looks like she's supposed to be working here, but she definitely looks surprised to see you guys here. As she's standing there stock still, or now looking you over, Karl, as she slowly raises her hands as you're, I'm guessing, pointing the gun at her.
That's a
What are
reasonable
you
assumption.
doing here?
Holly will lean
No,
into the doorway. Hello.
So she's got a petite figure, and she's got bookish good looks. As she looks at you and glances at the deer, raising an eyebrow. What are you all doing here? Might I ask?
I'm just gonna let Holly explain. She's better with people.
So,
Yeah.
so our plane crashed and we got shot at. So, and it's very cold outside for everybody else. So we came here to stay warm.
Roll me an awareness check, those of you in the room who are looking at her.
Awareness would be...
Actually, no, this would be human perception, actually. My bad.
Oh. Okay, what's human perception?
That would be an empathy.
Yep, that's an empathy check.
We don't got ranks in that. Okay, so that's just gonna be...
No chance I can play with combat sense on this?
How would you... What would be your argument for using that instead?
I am keyed up and ready for violence.
Ooh. I rolled a 1. I got a 10.
Huh.
Oh, nat 10.
Nice. So that would be an explosive roll, my buddy.
So,
Wait, you're not even in there.
I followed them.
But you were over by the communications, weren't you?
No, I said I pulled my gun
He
out.
followed
and,
Karl.
I
Karl's-
said I pulled my gun out and
co-
followed.
The way I followed that, it was nickname went over to the comms unit. At least that's what I gathered.
I said I pulled my gun out and followed the guy with the gun.
Okay, I missed that then.
Not a problem.
So that's just another D10.
Yeah, it's another D10. And you need to put a space between the R and 10, my buddy.
Yeah, I noticed that after I did that.
And for you, Karl, you can use it, but I'd probably give you a -2 penalty on that. But you could use your combat sense if you so wished. Would that be acceptable?
Deal.
But that would still be plus your empathy score, not your combat sense bonus skill thing. So that would be like your rating for combat sense, whatever that is, take off 2 from that, plus your empathy. So that would be the 2 numbers you would add to your roll. Okay. That's so. Nickname. Why did you roll the +5 again with it?
Oh, I don't roll +5 with it.
No.
Exploding die. Look, it's
Yeah,
been a
yeah,
while
it's-
since we
No, you
played.
just get an extra dice.
Yeah, it's just an extra die, my buddy. That's why I said an additional D10.
That would just...
Okay, so
that means you
so
get a
it's
I'll
twin
just
one.
take that
together.
6.
Yep, it's just us shaking off the rust a bit.
Yeah, no worries.
So
Okay, so in this case,
that just means that nickname rolled a 21.
Yep, 21.
buy that roll of
Do
beer.
you want to do a check too? Oh, you rolled a 1, didn't you?
Yeah, I rolled a
Okay.
1. So a 1
okay.
plus 9 equals 10.
Okay, so 21 and 16. Okay. Both were solo and are nomad. You spot a slight movement in her eyes right now as she seems to at least have a knowing of when you said plane crash. There was definitely a reaction there, but very slight, which speaks volumes on whatever control she has of herself. Karl especially, actually, Nickname especially can pick up on a rather cool customer in front of you.
You cocking the revolver back more at that. I assume that. Look, I don't know how guns work. I'm assuming just one of the things would just be the point, like,
Yeah, you can pull back the hammer.
yeah, pulling back the hammer just to show I see your shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, her eyes narrow slightly as she looks back at the deer, which is the only one that's not violent looking at her. She'll, I see. Uh, would you care for any provisions? You must have been through a lot, I wager. As she gestures around you now, this place looks pretty well stocked. You probably imagine it's probably good for maybe about a handful of people, which might be the right number for how many would probably be working at a spot like this.
Yes,
But
actually, hot chocolate would be good for everybody.
She'll
really,
nod
it's coffee.
and gesture if asking, am I allowed to move, or are you just going to shoot me?
Just spin the pistol around, put the safety on, assuming revolvers have safeties.
They don't have safeties, that's one thing with them. The
Okay,
safety
then
itself is actually, I think, the hammer.
The safety for
Yeah,
the
because
revolver is
Depends on the model, really.
Oh, fair, I suppose.
well, there's like, I mean, on a revolver, there are two firing. You got half cock and then full cock.
Yeah.
well, okay, basically she'd take out the bullet at that point, just and still it, and just
She'd raise an eyebrow at that, but if you let her, she'll pour up some hot cocoa for you guys and get some other treats for you
that's
guys
why
if you
she
so
was
wish.
that's why she was putting the gun away to be like
I'll
Okay.
allow it.
coffee.
Okay. So this lady will go about and get some drinks and food ready for you guys to now. What's everyone else doing as whatever the world's going on in the kitchen is going on now that you figured out what the thing on the coffee table is?
Well, for one, trying to get a gist of how many groups are out there, how they're organized, and come up with ideas how to make sure they remain disorganized enough to potentially steer them in the direction clear of where we need to go.
Looking into it, it sounds like a good maybe half a dozen groups are out there now, but they're not near here at the moment or now. So you're probably safe for the time being there now, unless someone gets word out to them. So as far as they know, they're imagining you guys are somewhere still out there in the wilderness between you and the plane crash.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well, we do
something.
have a survivor of one of the groups who could give them faulty directions.
That you do, and he's currently, I
Or could
would
bring them all
imagine, is
home.
likely sat by the wall, leaning against it. You're now still very much damaged
No,
goods,
he's
but
in a
it's still
chair.
alive.
There is
Okay,
the
He's in a
well,
chair and duct taped to the chair.
that there is also the issue of, do we know if they kept track of what each individual's voice sounds like?
That's a good
If
question.
the group is small enough, they would probably pick up on, like, wait, who are you? If it was large enough, it might be possible. Since we don't know
Well,
how many people are out looking, or
yeah,
how they've dictated who's monitoring the channels, we don't
yeah,
know if they're keeping track.
yeah. As far as you can tell, you know you dealt with one of the groups. So he's at least one of the ones that was being talked to, but he probably doesn't have any idea on what the other groups were doing, as it seems like they're probably on different bandwidths.
I mean, that's part of what the whole listening in is trying to see how their communication is organized.
Mm, what kind of check are you thinking of trying to do here?
Let me see. Let me see. Hmm.
Do I have something that could?
Hmm.
It's well worth keeping open the PDF, the unofficial some reference book, because there's a section into it that basically has all the different skills over the course of I think 2 or 3 pages here. So you just see a bunch of different skills that you could probably think of using here.
Yep. The way I'm thinking, this feels like it might be an into or an empathy skill, because I'm not trying to interface with the thing with doing a fancy interface. I'm just trying to listen to everything and compile that into try and make um come to an understanding of, okay, how are they communicating, and, and how can we use this to our advantage.
Hmm. Okay, just looking at what we got here now, you can probably get away with an awareness notice maybe for this.
Yeah, that could work.
I'm trying to see.
What about an empathy social if she's trying to read the people?
Or interview, trying to
I was
understand
looking
what's
at that
being said.
too. Let's see. Let's specifically see what that one did
So
again.
many
Oh,
options.
do I have this one in?
The ability to deal with social situations, like knowing the right fork to use or when not to tell the joke about the farmer's daughter and the traveling Cyberware salesman. Okay, so that's like manners and shit.
Mhm.
Is social.
I do. There is another. How reliable does this look? And is it something that can be interfaced with?
Oh, you can definitely interface with it if you so wish,
Okay,
but
I'm if I'm thinking this is the right one, and I checked, and this is currently installed in the deck. Thank God I
okay.
kept track. I have a
Okay.
controller, a sound machine, which allows controls of microphones, loudspeakers, and vocodes or computer voice boxes. If this radio falls under that, I'm thinking, would it be possible to send a static disruption through the entire network?
A good attempt, but this one sounds to be one for specifically getting around verbal-based security systems.
Oh.
Like I
Well,
said,
this is
good
why
attempt.
I
Good attempt.
asked,
Yeah.
because I was looking at the controller types and I'm thinking, I hope I have one that can do that.
Okay, that's a good attempt.
But
Uh,
My
you know
only
what? You can.
concern with tampering with the device at all is alerting the other hunters that something's not right back at the observation outpost.
Well,
And
we
pulling
have a
them home.
storm also coming through, so there's bound to be slight interference.
Oh, there's
As
definitely
well.
going to be interference here and there. Okay. If you want, you could try and use your hacking abilities to try and modify the program, maybe to see if you can get it to do. So, what exactly are you trying to get it to do? So, like, the specifics here is important. Exactly what is it you want your program to help you with for this task? Because I can see sort of the direction, but not the whole picture yet.
See, I'm thinking. Let's see. At this point, we know that they're communicating, so they're coordinated with speakers. So it's either we leave the speakers up, which
Yeah.
could be a thing, but then the problem is if we don't know if they do a sense that you could reply from this location, if they will eventually do a check-in.
Yeah.
And if there's no check-in, that goes back to the point of, like, we don't know how big the group, if they keep track of voices and that. So the next best thing, either somehow killing the signal or causing an interference signal through their devices where it could be plausibly blamed upon the storm that's coming in, since not all wireless transceivers are immune to being extremely perfect, especially with how bad this storm is that's rolling in.
Okay. And you're trying to
Trying
use your
to deny or delay any of them doing confirmed check-ins or seeing if we could keep them out from coming back to base.
Okay. Okay, I think I get what you're angling here for. Now I just need to see what we can do to actually get that to work in our favor. Do you want to make me a quick programming check?
Programming.
Because we can use this as a way to try and zombie together something from your program to get this to work.
And this, thank God, the program's high, and then this is where.
So what's what's the specific stats for your program itself? Because that can probably modify some things in your favor, maybe.
For the one that's being used?
Yeah, the one you're trying to modify. Because you're using that as a base to work with from here, so...
Well, if it's a base...
Like, is there any kind of, statistic bonus that it gives you for these checks, or, like...
It was just... I was just checking different... It would be classified under a controller.
Okay, and anything else you can give me, my buddy?
It didn't give any stats, it just gave, like, what it can do. It didn't say, like, it provides a bonus to doing this or that.
Give me a second, then. For that... do you at least have a page number of where that thing's to?
No.
Okay, okay. You said it's a controller?
Yeah, controller, the one being based off is Sound Machine.
Sound Machine? Okay. Not running software. Okay, controller. Anti-system evasion protection.
Unless a phone home would fit better.
Program controller. You said Sound Machine?
Yeah.
Okay, that's strength 4. There we go. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Okay,
Oh
that controls
shit,
mic
that's right. I
speakers.
did put the strength. I forgot
No
how
worries.
I broke
Okay,
this.
okay, so make your programming check.
And survey says
Survey says, I like what you're
Okay.
doing, but I'm gonna add you with a close to that one, apparently.
Okay. Okay, I like the cut of your jib, Mavre, but yeah, you'd still get. Okay, so you can take your program, and at this point in time, you're not going to be able to use it for its original purpose with the modifications you're going to be doing to it. But you're able to modify it where it can do what you're trying to do here. Now, quickly roll me an electronic system check.
Electronic system. Let's see if I open the sheet.
So that is a tech check, if my memory serves me well.
Yep, I just need to. You said electronic security?
Yep.
Okay, this is going to just be the flat tech.
Oh, what a +4. That's where the strength was. I was like looking for that. So you did the check. So this is to help you with that.
Okay.
And that's
not
an
have any
exploding
other
die.
bonus?
I do not have any points in that one.
It's still a tech check, my buddy. You'd be adding your stat at
Oh,
the very least.
Yeah, it would be 14.
So it would be +14, not +4.
Yeah.
Okay, roll me another d10.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, my buddy, you gotta make sure you add all your stuff to it.
Well, there's the one.
Okay, so it's essentially adding a 10 onto that, so that becomes a 24, not a 14, which is a big difference. And now it's 25. Okie dokie now. Yes, you are able to get into the communication stuff now and use your Zomborg program now to fiddle with and essentially throw in some disarray into the communication setup now, as it essentially goes down the line and affects all the units out in the field too now, as things go a little bit funky. But for the group turnout, you guys are not going to be able to get any more information out of this angle.
So I guess that's up to the question of my role to see how much else I'll get before the.
You would be able to get some stuff out of it now. So what specific information were you angling for, Nay?
Their specific things like their specific positions, their trajectories, where they're going, and number of people in each squad.
You got the map you got off of the reporter check, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so you could work off of information like that, because they would be giving grid, like they would be giving you like map coordinates and such now, some spots now. So you are able to pick up on where each group is sort of to as they're like checking in. But you don't know who they're checking in with. All they're saying, they're essentially just telling where they're to and how they're doing at the moment. But so far, no one has essentially spoken up to each of these groups for now to say anything to them. So that's what you'd be able to gather before Scorpio bricks it.
Okay, so
It'll also. I'm assuming as well. It'll probably take time because zombifying the program.
Like I said, that's why Naeruiih was able to get this information. She was listening while you were doing your fiddly thing there now, and taking apart your program and doing it into some other new way.
And probably going to have to either buy an entirely new program of that
You will.
or take the time to fix it. But that's a future issue, if they
That is a
survive.
future issue. Yes. But that's the information able to be gotten. Now, group over in the kitchen. You get your food, you get your drinks with this lady now, and do you bring her out now with the others, or what are you doing with her? Do you check her for anything, or what?
I leave that to Gun.
I mean, Karl's got a name, you know. He's not just a gun.
Look, it's been a while. I forgot the
No
character's name.
worries.
Yes.
So what are you gonna do, Karl? Or are you gonna like check her for anything? Or she's got the food and all that stuff now prepared for you guys for now. So like, what's on the go to now? What will you do with her?
I'm just gonna keep an eye on her. I'm not pointing a gun at her anymore, but
Okay.
once bitten, twice shy, you know.
Okay. So are you gonna leave her in the kitchen, or are you bringing her out with you guys?
Do the others know she's here?
Unless you guys have said anything else to the others in the area, probably not. Unless you've been loud over in here.
I'm pretty sure
I
if
would
it's the
assume
next
small enough
room
that we would
over.
hear them.
Yeah, if it's the next room over, unless they are stage whispering, I'm pretty sure we can at least hear the sounds of talking. So we know, probably enough to know that someone's here,
Well,
but
you probably know that Karl and Holly and them were talking to someone now, and you might have caught a little bit of what she was saying, but she wasn't exactly yelling.
Yeah, and for me at least, more focused listening in on the communications.
oh, that's
Yeah.
true. So the Kitty and Fox wouldn't be hearing anything, being focused in their own little world.
Yeah, so like I said, it's up to you guys over in the kitchen what you're gonna be doing with her. Are you just gonna like tie her up and leave her in the kitchen, or like what are you guys doing with her?
So, leaving that up to Carl.
I'll just
What was
ask
that
her
nickname?
politely to.
Oh, I said I was just leaving that up to Carl's character.
Anyone else want to interrupt?
Sorry.
I will simply politely recommend that she stay in the kitchen for a bit. And I will also grab that rifle that was hanging off in one corner you mentioned earlier.
Yep, it's right by the door. So it's a. What was it again? Now it was in the Militech Arms Avenger. Actually, no. So it wouldn't have been a rifle against the wall. It actually would have been It's a 9mm. It would have been on a counter. Karl, since you were probably the one to pick it up here now, you do notice there's a built-in silencer into it. It's a modified one. Because you do know your guns, my buddy.
This one yours?
She'd hesitantly nod a little. Girl's gotta keep a piece on her when you're out in the middle of nowhere like this.
I nod an understanding.
But she'll nod and will keep to herself in the kitchen. But she's warily watching you all there now, as like I said, you can definitely tell she's nervous about your group.
That's fair.
It's very fair.
I mean, other than Holly, all she's seen is people tense, ready to start shooting and ask questions later.
Holly is the epitome of head empty, no thoughts found.
Well, we
You
know
think about
that.
it, Holly it baffles people.
Yeah. But so the rest of you guys will just leave the kitchen with your food and drinks for now to the rest of everyone else.
See,
The rest
No,
of you
I'm gonna
out
stay in the
in.
kitchen and enjoy my cup of hot
Oh.
brown.
Okay. You got some nice little cookies to go along with it, or now maybe even a nice little brownie to go alongside it too, if asked. But it looks like there's not much been done here in the kitchen. You can definitely feels like at a spot no one's really been here for all that longer now. So this lady at the very least hasn't been here that long. And like I said, if you guys out and by the comms unit are now checked, are now the 9, 8, and 7 rooms are bedrooms. Number 5 is a dark room actually for that's filled with expensive computers and photograph imaging equipment and such now, along with a bunch of jars and jugs of various chemicals now for darkroom related things. And number 4 is a bathroom.
So basically, typical things one would find in a research center.
Yep, and the room beyond, just up from the kitchen there now, the one marked 3, that is a storage freezer filled with perishable food. You also see supplies in there now for more photographic stuff there now, as it's basically meant to help keep stuff code. And the double doors beyond are now that lead into where the big old observation dome is tutor now. You see a giant ass, telescope thing in there now, and you also see a giant ass pressurized tank that's got helium on the side of it. The thing's really big. But like I said, throughout this entire facility, you can tell all the technology here is pretty dated, as best as you can tell. The only thing that's really advanced here at the moment now is what's on the coffee table. Yeah, here we go. A lot of antiquated communications equipment in the observation dorm. But the thing on the coffee table is definitely state of the art communication stuff.
You said there were bedrooms. How many beds are present in each bedroom?
As you can see, there's basically one in each.
So we know that there are more groups out than there are beds.
Yep,
So they're
and
probably using this as a base.
well, I mean, at the moment now, from what you can tell, this is sort of like a spot meant for like maybe 4 people to work out of normally. But this definitely feels like something that's not what this place is meant to be used for. At least with the odd looking technology that was on the coffee table. That doesn't look much like anything else in here.
So it basically, one of these things don't look like the others.
Well, think about it like this. You're talking about probably stuff from like the early 90s, like tech, and this is something from like the mid 20s or mid 2000s.
That's someone basically brought in.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's definitely a noticeable gap between those two types of technologies. But if you guys look over there, there is an Arctic Cat snowmobile that is parked in the garage, and it is loaded down with supplies. And now you guys have some stuff to nom on that's brought out by the others that were in with Karl. Karl's still in the kitchen with the lady who sat over now by one of the counters, now just keeping to herself at the moment.
Basically, this is my life now.
Yep. And you know that that spot that's marked as 11, that is where the generator shack is too. So there's 3 big ass tanks of fuel in there now, and that's what's essentially fueling the spot. Hmm. So what does the group do now? Now that we're at this point, or now Scorpio sent off his thing there now to fuck with the communications. You guys now have some nice, enjoyable food and drink to now to enjoy, and Karl's keeping an eye on the odd figure that was here.
Yeah, there would be a somewhat startled a comment when the communications go down, especially if it's. Would I be able to notice that it was our net runner that that took the comm relay down while I was still actively listening to it?
I would say, with how much you were focused on your work, probably not. So that would definitely come as a surprise.
Hmm. Yeah, if it, mostly because if there was any way to figure it was his fault, mostly it would be just calling him a scophead for not warning me he was going to be doing that.
Well, now we have our net runner who's now known as Scophead. Got it.
I mean, then again, I was thinking there'd probably be a clash because you got the media that's thinking, oh, this is a valuable piece of information. Then you got the netrunner thinking, we got to take this down. So probably a clash of 2 different ideals in this pool with this specific radio.
Indeed.
Well, at least I was able to get some valuable information before this thing went down.
Coco?
Coffee?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. Find anything good good in the kitchen aside from from the treats?
Oh, there was a
in
lady.
there.
Is an ear flick just one?
What was Karl's character's name? Can't remember.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I forgot too.
Call him Magpie.
Okay. Oh, Magpie's with her right now.
Any clue if she was the one who was just listening in or was helping coordinate with this device here?
She did have this look, but she's acting friendly enough as it is, and I might be keeping an eye.
Is he keeping an eye at the down range of his gun barrel?
Did he still have his gun out when he left?
Yes, the gun is down.
At first, but the gun's down now at the moment.
Right. I may need to find out just what she knows about this device and how involved she is. Because, well, I managed to before this thing went down. Managed to figure out there's about half a dozen groups out there of varying sizes who's out there looking for presumably us. Yeah, I've got their rough positions marked here on this map, as well as what I was able to piece together of their current plan trajectories.
So since the current location they're in is nice and toasty, Holly will go ahead and take her coat off as she sits down to enjoy her snacks and cocoa.
Indeed.
Hmm. I suppose the question is, what do we do now? Because this may be, may be a nice enough spot to warm up and refresh. I have not been able to determine whether this is a base of operations that they'll be returning to at some point, or how much time that we have to get things in order, so to speak.
Hmm. Oh, did you get at least how far they are?
They're scattered about probably midway by this point or now to mid to maybe 2/3 of the way over towards where the crash was to.
Yeah, and she would share that. I could have got more if this damn thing didn't go down.
Okay, that is fair, but at the same time, if it's down, the weather that is coming could be a possible reason that it caused it as well. We don't know if anyone doesn't respond at this location. If you said there was another here, would cause them to decide to come back.
And that's assuming there's another location. And if it was still working, we could have just as easily found a way to send them in the opposite direction.
Assuming they don't already keep track of who's on the radio. Or if the group is small enough that they know everyone by voice.
I mean, we do have a survivor from one of the groups, and if that person over with Magpie happens to be some kind of a radio supervisor, that's two perspective options that we could have had to misdirect.
Assuming they don't have keywords in place that we don't know.
Scorpio, would you still be fiddling around with the unit that you got there now? With like the thing that's on the coffee table.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah, the comms device. Well, the comms / monitoring device.
I would assume the fiddling would probably extend as far as getting the program on it, unless he has to physically fiddle with things to make the program respond.
No, I mean, like, are you still actively like essentially like keeping an eye on it or something? That's what I'm trying to get across.
Oh, Yeah, since this is technically a program that was basically written from scratch on something that was being used that wasn't made for this purpose, probably make sure that it's functioning to some degree.
Okay.
Or continuing to.
Would you mind making me a interface check with your special ability?
Ooh.
Yeah, make me an interface check.
Okay, and the special ability is separate from the other stats.
Well, no, it's your special thing is tied into a specific one, remember? Let's see. Your interface is related to
That could be the
int.
Yeah.
It's based off your int. So roll me your interface plus your int real quick. As you're sort of keeping an eye on things, now, you feel like someone else is in the system, or at least they just disconnected.
Satoshi is gonna sit there, and then there's just gonna be a mothering of, oh, son of a bitch.
You feel there was another netrunner in on this.
And hearing that,
he's gonna look at his deck, and I hope I have one, or if I have it installed. I think there was a tracker. I hope there was a goddamn tracker.
Ooh, do you have a tracker? Okay.
I mean, the problem is I'm probably stupid enough that I didn't install a tracker.
Is that you using the soundboard?
Nope.
I think that was his brother.
Spencer.
Oh.
Yep. There's the bean.
Okay, I could have sworn he was just using a soundboard for that one because it just sounded too robotic. Oh, and I'm guessing he's got himself muted now because his brother showed up.
Surprisingly, he normally forgets to mute.
Okay. I need to also.
Okay. Yes, please review your programs and see if you actually did have a tracker, because that's important here.
I know that would it help that the gear that he has, I know, has a default or is considered having a invisibility program running on it constantly. Would that also affect it?
Which program?
He has the Owl runner deck.
Owl. What does that fall under?
Raven Micro Owl.
Give me a category, because there's a lot of fucking programs in this game.
Oh no, that's just the runner deck, and it has the program running constantly by default already on it.
Do you know what the program type is? That's what I'm asking. Like, without any information, my buddy, I can't really tell you jack shit on that program at the moment. I need at least a scrap of information.
It says you are invisible. It counts as a strength of 3.
Okay. Okay.
It's counted as the deck by default counted running the program invisibility with a strength of 3 constantly whenever things are used on that deck.
Okay, 1 second. Invisibility. Okay, it's an evasion one. Got it. Okay, flickering iridescent sheet which drapes over the Netrunner. Okay, that looks to be from the base game book.
See, Crash.
Uh,
Actually, I think I do.
That's
And do I have
evasion.
one?
Evasion.
Crash dropped its runner out of the net.
37.
Oh god.
Okay, invisibility. Overlays a false signal on your cyber modem trace, making it appear to be harmless static. When activated, invisibly will allow the network to pass unnoticed through the net. Okay, yeah, you're passing unnoticed through it now, but you actively did something while doing it, so you wouldn't have been under that, my buddy. This is just for when like you're just going and just poking your way through when you're not actively doing something. That would be like stealth.
I'm gonna
Would be the
fucking
next thing
kick
up.
myself in the ass if I don't have, because I know there were attack programs that also are like trackers that will hunt down the netrunners. If I don't fucking have one of those,
Yes.
Watchdog series. Oh, fuck yes! I do have a program, but it's a detection and alarm. I don't know if it will.
I'm guessing Watchdog.
It's a Watchdog series, Pitbull.
Pitbull, okay. Most advanced form of Watchdog. Pitbull not only tracks the intruder to its source. There we go. Okay, but also cuts the line after acquiring the location. It will continue to cut the line every time the intruder logs in from that point. Tree can be set up to watch, repair the net, and report back. Okay.
And it is installed because I kept track which I had a standby of which installed when this information game started. And Pitbull was one
then.
of them.
So instead of you just feeling the connection terminate, you do feel your Pitbull went off and had some thunder now. Okie dokie. It is giving you a destination of where this fellow netrunner was to at the moment. You feel it is coming from something called the Serpentine Hot Springs down in Pilgrim.
Well, it seems there's a runner in the Serpentine Hot Springs near Pilgrim, and they potentially know that we are here.
And that's another reason why I probably been best to at least keep the thing running a bit longer before going and frying it.
I wouldn't say it's fried, more it's just a program that's sending interference.
Did you say hot
Yeah.
springs?
You bricked it.
Still, a nice gonk move there, Scophead.
Was I supposed to know there was another net runner in the area? And how was? And for all we know, we still don't know if they had code words or set check-ins. This
It's
would have at
Cyberpunk, my
least.
buddy. Always expect there's an enemy netrunner out there now.
Yeah, most netrunners I've interviewed have always basically say always assume that there's another netrunner or two in the net with you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Never
that is.
alone.
Okay, so the comment about the netrunner made, but he still would have made the comment about the check-in, since we don't know how frequently they would have.
Exactly. But it at least seems like they had at least someone else also keeping an eye on their communications. But now you actually have a destination. So looking at your map, Nay, you can see that the hot springs that they're speaking about now lies in between you and Nome, Alaska at the moment. So it's within range of the Arctic Cat if you want to trundle off to it in relative luxury. At least it's a hell of a lot better than being out on Skidoos.
And I mean, if that's the case, that they also know that we're here, kind of standing here probably isn't a good idea unless we want to set a trap.
Blue skidoo and I can too.
At this point, it sounds like we need to see about getting the person in the kitchen at the very least enough on our side to not immediately to not report us, or at the very least try and give appropriate directions.
I mean, as far as you can tell, unless she's got some kind of comms device on her person, if this is all she had, you guys have already turned this into a lovely paperweight.
True, but the other people don't know that. They didn't work in with us. They only know what little info we gave them.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the media yelling at the Netrunner about frying the comms would probably clue in that it's nothing more than a paperweight.
Yeah.
Plus, but there's always the low tech approach of someone coming in and asking them directly which way we went.
That would assume they knew what path we took if we didn't decide to veer off a path a bit.
Exactly. We go one way and then we immediately make a random turn.
Like a zigzag instead of a straight line, like we're running from the crocodiles.
You just need to quick hop back for that.
So what's the plan here? You guys have had a nice mug up, but what shall you do with the lady in the kitchen?
For me, at least, I think probably good idea to go and interview her, see who she is, what she's doing here, and see if we can come to an agreement.
I mean,
find out what she knows about the bounty hunters or us.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume, even if the Netrunner communicated to the others something was wrong, we have at least, depending where they were, maybe half hour at most. I'm gonna.
Well, it depends on what they had for other means of communications. If they had nothing, you've already bricked the communications in the area.
Well, I meant more of if they knew, and that was assuming they were using skids and coming back. As more of a generous thing.
If they were to turn around from where they're to now, it's going to be way more than half an hour, my buddy. You're very overestimating how mobile you can be in harsh wilderness like Alaska.
Okay, that is fair. And even so, it's probably best to set a time of how long it's safe to be here before we should disappear.
Give me a second, I might actually... So... Actually, would be the Serpentine Hot Springs. I think it's closer to Taylor than Pilgrim.
I was looking at the map.
Yeah, I think it actually says on the map. that I gave you guys.
No, it is close to Pilgrim. If it's the hot springs.
Oh, then
It's
yes. Okay. Yeah.
Pilgrim Hot Springs. It's close to Teller. Taylor is a bit further away.
Is north. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, even on the other map now, yeah. So then yeah, it's yeah, the Pilgrim Hot Springs, so okay, so you said you're going to interview now the lady. How are you looking to approach this?
Yeah, I could start by you just casually walking up and giving a friendly hello.
She'll wearily look at you and nod, greeting you in kind.
This is, this has been a strange day for all of us here.
I can tell. Can I please go back to my work? I was in the middle of something very important, so I mean, you're all coming from something that sounds quite horrible. You're free to relax and such here in a nice warmth and comfort, but I am a busy person here, miss.
No worries. Ideally, we won't take too much of your time. Well, I am kind of curious. What kind of work do you do here?
Well, nowadays the observatory is designed to help keep an eye on the ozone depletion on this world. It's an important component now from what it once was. Memory serves me well. I believe it was part of the early warning defenses the U.S. had against threats to the West.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely sounds like pretty important work.
It gets the job done, that's for certain. But as I said, I was in the middle of some rather important work I had to do for it. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm.
Any of that work have to do with with that communications relay out front?
What do you mean? Did
I
you
mean,
did you do anything to my equipment out on the coffee table?
Oops.
I was just listening in on what was going on when all of a sudden things just kind of went dead.
She looks at you for a moment and looks irritated to hear this. Why did you choose to interfere with what we were doing here? Is this supposed to be some act of corporate sabotage or something? I know we're not that important, but we're still doing a good job out here.
Mm. To tell the truth, I've been trying to figure that out myself. A lot of what's been going down around here lately just reeks of some corpo trying to bite off a bigger piece of the pie.
She'll look interested at that. What do you mean exactly? Now it's time for you to remember people and such. Now, did you keep notes on names and people to reference here? I know it's been a hot minute, but there's been a lot of stuff that's popped up.
Let me make double check to see if my notes are still intact, and just
In the meantime, Holly will peek her head in the door. By any chance, do you have a spare shirt? Mine
She
is
looks at your
gone.
chest and comments, you can maybe fit into it, but honestly, my dear, you have way more to do on your chest than I do.
I don't want to rip your shirt if it's too small.
There's some other equipment here from the other workers. You can maybe check in their rooms to see if there's something that works for you, but I'm afraid to say not many workers like myself out here in the middle of nowhere are as gifted as you are, my dear.
Okay, I'll look. Thank you. She'll go and check the rooms, see if she can find, at the very least, a shirt that can fit over her big tatas.
She'll give a nod, keeping an air of at least decent bearing to herself. There now, you can go out there now and in like the first, what room would that be? In room number 9, you go into it there now and check, and the shirts will work for you, but they're not. They're more for someone that's quite obese. So at the end of the day, they can still work for you.
Ah, yes, she can do the shirt meme.
Yes, yes, you can.
Oh dear.
What?
Have you not?
Our lovely rockstar gal is looking for some clothing. She found clothes that's for a rather obese individual, so it should still work. It's just going to be a lot of loose.
Have you not seen those one shirt memes that kept? Literally, woman puts on a
Don't
huge baggy
know.
shirt, then they pull the back of the shirt tight.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, okay.
That meme.
I get it now.
But yeah, she's just gonna find what and put on one of those huge baggy shirts. It will do the job.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So some names you might know would be like Colin Newman, and I think you guys did meet a person called Richard Thorne.
Yeah.
That name does seem to ring a bell.
Because I think you saw Richard Thorne at one of the stops to now on the plane. Newman, I think, was speaking with him. Let me see if I can actually find the section I'm even thinking about. Da, da, da. Yeah, I think that was back when you guys landed in Deer.
Yeah, because that's one thing I'll find a Colin Newman, though that was just listed as really, and the name we were given was Wolfgang Kraus.
Yep, but Newman was the name you knew him by. He was the one who brought you in on this. But you do know that the other guy, you're now Thorn, oh, forget if you guys can probably put two together and probably imagine he's with UEC as well. At least that's a safe assessment.
Bastards.
Hmm. Eh, eh, the usual kind of stuff. Being booked for a gig by a guy giving you a pretty obvious a fake alias. meeting a few people, people along the way who, well, they all seem to come from the same corpo.
She'll raise an eyebrow. Oh, what sort of job and what corporation you speak of?
Hmm. And just making sure that I'm not just having a brain fart because I'm just bleh. A UEC, right?
Yep, UEC. I think it's United Energy something. Give me a second. UEC, United Energy Coalition, and you know they're not big fans of the company Petrochem.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah, UEC by the looks of it.
She'll raise an eyebrow. Oh. I think they got some stuff up this way, don't they now?
Hmm. Yeah. 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 Although it seems, although my instincts are saying that this has more to do with with their apparent rivalry with a certain petrochem.
Oh, that is a well-known rivalry. Both corporations have their pieces of the pie, so to speak. But
Mm, yeah, though it is quite frustrating when it feels like like the gig you get sent on boils down to a wild goose chase.
oh, how so?
Yeah, trying to find something that doesn't actually exist.
Sure, look intrigued. What sort of thing? One thing I can think of with UEC out this way is that old rig out west.
Hmm. But probably isn't a good idea to give too much information away because you know a certain degree of confidentiality is only professional.
Hmm, that's understandable. And if you're trying to get into her good graces, is there a check you'd want to do to try and help you with this influencing?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, credibility is. Trying to remember what was the stat that's connected to credibility again.
I think that
Cool, I
was
want to say,
empathy, but let me have a look.
or
See,
empathy.
I think empathy, but give me a second. Skill list. Credibility was involved with media. Oh, that's actually intelligence.
Oh, intelligence, even better.
Yep. Oh, that's why we made them the kitty big brand.
Hmm. Yeah. So, what's more, evidence of how long it's been since we last did this.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, considering that I'm a media, my credibility is probably one of the best stats to go for this one.
Oh, definitely. Sweet tap dancing Jesus. Okay.
10 int and 8 in credibility.
Okie dokie. Let me actually see what your DC would have been for the.
And Avery seems to be all over the place tonight.
Definitely. Uh, so what exactly were you trying to do with this now? Trying to impress her?
Trying to be cordial, polite, get her a bit more comfortable, show that I'm not a threat and just looking to provide an earnest exchange of information.
Hmm. She'll look at you as she listens, but it doesn't feel like she's quite warming up to you, but you feel like you're getting somewhere, but not quite enough here now, but it does seem like she might recognize you at the very least, but she'll listen, but any other angle you want to try and angle for this, because she seems a rather tough cookie.
Yeah, there's also persuasion and fast talk.
That's probably a good idea here. So you try to use your credibility. It wasn't quite enough, not for what we're dealing with here.
Or at the very least well, technically it's the highest possible stat roll I can roll, but
Yeah.
at
The thing
least
is, it was a low dice though.
Yeah, the low dice probably what did it. So
Okay. Yeah. It's so what. So what's the argument you're using here to now to try and get her onto your side?
hmm. Eh, part is just because trying to do a job that we believe was good work, and found, well, a lot of things just haven't added up, and trying to do good work, not that could be in a similar vein to what what this person here is trying to do, at least appeared to be at the offset, but ended up getting lied to and trying to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, you're giving me a lot to go with, but you're not giving me much meat, my dear.
Sorry, trying to. It's lots of thoughts coming in and trying to put them into a nice, meaningful order.
Yeah.
Try okay. So trying to persuade one that we are don't intend to make ourselves a threat, but have needed to be on guard because, well,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, like I said, you haven't exactly been giving her too much in the way specifics that she can work with, so the DCs have still been relatively high because nothing's more or less been given to give her something to work with.
and basically trying to come to a point where there can be a considered mutually beneficial and safe exchange of information, because
Yeah.
more can be shared, but need to make sure that there is an agreement that, confidentiality, that it's going to just stay between in those immediately present.
Yep. And you don't exactly know what her loyalties are, so
Exactly, trying to find out where that is so we can determine. Okay, is it reasonably safe to share the information with her for our sake and her sake? Because since we're dealing with some corporal bullshit right now, basically one of the things that's getting across is that if the being reticent isn't not so much because we're trying to hide anything, it's because, well, we don't necessarily know who to trust, and if you and don't want anyone to be put in the potential same crosshairs we've been trying to dodge, if we can help it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically trying to argue that, okay, we do have some more information to share, but we want to make sure that she knows the potential risks, and that that telling her could include.
Fair, but you've been saying this without actually coming out and saying it. That's one thing I'm trying to get at tutor now, is that there's a lot of like up in air what exactly you're angling at here now. So if I'm confused, I'd say the NPC's also confused exactly what you're trying to do here.
The difference between the character's capabilities and mine as a person.
No
That's
worries.
always
Well, I think
true.
there's a bit of it's been a while, so trying to pick up where exactly we
Yeah.
had information. There's a lot of vagueness on the players' parts.
Right.
No worries, no worries. Let's see, we know
Say,
for a fact you were essentially hired on by this Newman guy. Now you got flown in from Night City to check in on the Laputa oil rig now to get specific information on what was apparently a prototype technology onto it. You came here, you saw Newman headed off with someone else now. About midway through the down here now. You know that you got to the rig. You were able to get up on board, see that like most of the crew like that were you would usually be working on to it have largely been replaced with large amounts of automation on board the place right now. So, and from what you can gather when you got into the system itself now, there was no new technology after being added in here. Just basically the well itself is getting to the point where it's almost depleted. It's only got like maybe what? Not even a handful of years left into this wonder now. That's the reason why they've been steadily shifting for more automation to offset the amount of money they're putting into this specific field. You got back on board your plane. Then a church went off and took you out of the sky. Someone really underguessed how much he needed, and it wasn't quite enough to do what he wanted. And then you landed, and you were being on film by a specific reporter from some random ass Russian outlet now. And you had a talk with her now that she was basically contacted by someone, I think it was someone that sounded a lot like Newman, to come to this spot now to basically see about witnessing, I think, some illegal poaching. So that's why she was there. You got information off of her. Then you went off because you were trying to get over towards the observatory as a way of trying to find like a safe spot to weather out things for a bit, or at least try to figure out what the hell is on the go at the moment. You guys came across I believe it was the three bounty hunters. You killed two of them, and you got one guy here who's currently out on apparently duct taped to a chair at this point. And she hasn't seen him yet, but you're talking to this lady here now. And like I said, the information so far, she's, yeah.
Well, the words.
No worries.
With that little review, we can just basically give a little bullet point review of the situation thus far. The whole being flown up by the UEC guy. The meeting with another UEC guy once we land.
How much detail do you give her? Do you give names?
Well, I'm pretty sure at this point I've already given the name Newman.
From what you can tell, she's got no recognition of that name.
And probably would also drop the name Thorn as well.
That one, roll me human perception.
me double check. Human perception.
Should be an empathy skill.
So 8 and 5, 13. So yep. One exploding dice.
Nice. Oh yeah.
So 29.
You definitely note she does react, however slightly, to when you bring up Thorn's name.
Hmm.
She knows who this is,
Mm-hmm.
at the very least.
Yep. And there can also be the talk of the apparent thing of investigating some new tech at the oil rig. But the only thing we find when we get there is basically a skeleton crew and a whole lot of automation. Not the kind of thing you'd expect to see at a place that is supposedly developing new tech, and well, nothing to be found.
Okay.
And then wrap up all this weirdness with a apparent bit of sabotage to the plane, which I'm pretty sure that was meant to kill us, but someone skimped on the explosives.
Very amateurish.
That's how I lost my shirt.
You'll see a look of concentration as she's thinking on what you're saying here, and then she looks at each of you, Darnell, in the eyes, Darnell, and asks, "Is all of what you're saying true? Is there something you're forgetting to tell me about what you did at the rig?"
Yeah, it's all the honest truth. Went in, so looked for information on the supposed new tech. Found nothing to suggest it even existed, and left.
Okay, I admit, I shagged the guy at the oil rig.
Wait, what?
Say what now?
Why do
Of
I
course
find
you
it funny
did.
that be canon that she just walks in and says that during the interview?
And this is probably when she's also wearing the giant ass shirt too.
Yep.
She
I like
looks at you, Holly, and she says, "Don't quite have shame, do you?"
I don't think she understands the concept.
I can respect that.
Poppy said it might be because of the brain damage. The brain damage. The brain damage.
She
Oh, hey,
she
Magpie, when'd
glances
you get
at your
here?
body and nods. Ah, yes. You are a plebeian, I imagine.
That's what Poppy said.
She nods slightly, but then she'll look at you guys and she asks, "So then, if I were to mention that rig, a number of explosions have come from it, what would your reactions be to said information?" She's seriously looking at each of you to see how you react to this.
Well,
I'm not in the
there
room.
would be. In my case, there would definitely be a look of shock and concern, and questions like, when did this happen? Was anyone hurt?
it
She
probably
will
will,
calmly. Oh, go ahead.
no, probably be a bit surprised. Although remember, you can only see one eye. So I am wearing an eye patch.
Yeah.
Probably a bit surprised. And like, if she's robbing a place, she wants it to be known it's her. So if she's not there, what's the point? You know what I mean? Fortunate that we're gone after we left. What's the point if you're not there to watch the goddamn explosion?
She'll wearily look at you,
Well, I don't say,
our
I don't say,
pirate. Oh,
I don't say the explosion part out loud. That was just
Okay,
like.
okay, you gotta actually say that stuff, my buddy.
I'm sorry.
If you're voicing something, I'm going to assume you're actually voicing that.
Just look. Don't look at me. It's not my
Think
Not the
Holly.
style.
Hmm.
Think about hearing about the explosion. Think Holly's honest reaction would be, you know, that fat black and white cat going, huh?
Oh,
Oh, that fat cat meme. I know the one you're talking about. It is glorious.
Yeah, that is
Oh
her
dear.
honest opinion. It's like everything stops in her Holly's head. Huh?
She'll glance down at the cup that she's been drinking coffee out of, still with the moniker "To the World's Best Dad" onto it, and she'll click her nails a little bit on the counter. It is said that terrorists orchestrated an attack on it. A number of people are injured. Several, I believe, from what I hear, are dead. It so happens to say that a number of people, similar number to those who I'm currently looking at, were the ones who orchestrated the hit. From what I heard, you were shot out of the air, but were on foot. So, are you telling me you were not brought here to destroy the Laputa rig?
Those weren't the reasons we were told. Although I am now, although I am now pretty much all but convinced that all the evidence is pointing towards that Newman just hired us to be a bunch of dupes to set up as scapegoats for a bit to take that rivalry that that him and UEC has with as with the Petrochem, and make it a little bit more of a hot rivalry.
Now, out of character, you guys were also given a means to get on board the rig, which were these UEC ID cards, which the guy that was the security guy on board the actual rig and the head of the rig, he checked those and they came back correct. That's why he was so amiable with you guys, because remember, he thought you were fellow UEC employees.
Yeah, we're just from corporate.
Now,
You
I'm
know-
assuming in your act of trying to convince Miss Morrison, as she revealed her name to be, do you show her these ID cards?
Yes.
You know, there was a thought that came to mind if it was mentioned the explosion.
Yes.
I don't know. What did you do?
I remember that one of the things that I did, or Satoshi did, was to actually check these cards.
You
Nothing
did.
came out. But I'm starting to think, if there was an explosion after we left, what if there was a timed detonator that was connected to each of the cards, waiting for them to be scanned in to Prime, and then once we scanned out, there was a timer that started a countdown. So we would be away when the explosion went.
We were supposed to die on a plane crash. There was
But
explosives
the point
on the plane.
is, if we died at the explosion, that would mess the narrative.
And
That's what I'm saying.
You sure you didn't discover anything about the cards, my buddy. I remember you doing a check. Did you write down what I told you about it?
I could check. I need to check. See if I can find my notes.
Players taking notes? Unheard of.
Heresy.
Well, I have to. I don't know if my notes are on this computer or if I put it off the drive because computer issues.
Now, I believe I remember you did a check-in. I think you did a really good one, and you discovered those binary strings embedded in the ID stuff.
Yeah, I know there was something
Let's
about
not
them.
blow up the observatory too.
Wasn't planning on it.
Here we are.
Give me a
Okay, let's
second.
look
Let me actually go back, because that's something they actually do bring up in the thing here.
going to
Oh no.
discuss a corporation known as
Visibly.
Captian, Richard Thornball Flying.
Okay, give me a second.
Into the cards had a deep flag of not UAC but UEC security.
Yes, you were flagged as not just UEC employees, but you were tagged as being members of the security division, just like he was. So that's why he was even more okay and relaxed with you guys, because he thought you guys were fellow security people.
And correct me if I'm wrong,
That's-
but that information was shared with the rest of the party, right?
Yes, that was.
I'm pretty sure because remember, yeah, I think he would have shared because when we were given the cards, I remember the reasoning. He checked them because either paranoia that there's probably something more to them than what they were told, or just making sure that these are IDs like they're supposed to be and not some hidden agenda to them.
Yep. In that case, that's
that flag.
She will give you a hard look and asks if she can see these cards you mentioned.
I suppose we can show one of them because we can share that as part of the gig, as was told to us. We were given ID cards, which we found we're supposed to label us as UEC security.
Pretty much.
She looks down at the card and will click her nails a few times on the counter and says, "Not just security, but high-level security, I assume."
Our net runner could probably tell you more about that, but I think that's probably a pretty safe bet.
Still looking at you guys, she'll slowly reach into her pocket and says, "I'm not gonna pull anything out. You already got my gun, but one moment. Do you guys let her get what she's going to get?"
Yes. I will
Yes.
at least.
I think so.
She'll pull out a ID card herself that is marked UEC, just like the ones you got, and puts it down on the counter. Checks that for me, please. She'll look at you, Scorpio, the hacker.
Hey, Scouthead, get in here. We need you.
There is a grumbling, but Satoshi would.
What does that mean? Because my character's bald, and I feel like that would he'd take insult to that.
I'm pretty sure it's a slang for probably a dumbass.
I mean, I try and make a good point of using this to trying to sprinkle in street slang where I can.
So, for reference, Captain, SCOP, SCOP, is single-celled organic protein. It is a way of growing your own meat. SCOP. SCOP is the actual is the acronym for it, but SCOP Tanks is a way for you to grow your own meat, and it's usually done up in ways say you can make high protein noodles or like meat slices, stuff like that. Like the kits that
Ew.
come with them, they're now give you ways in order to
3D
like
printed meat.
form the stuff to now in whatever form you want to use it for.
No, thank you.
Mhm. And,
I mean,
and
it apparently tastes pretty good.
yeah, but it's also apparently often used as a derogatory term for something low quality.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's something like, say, a lot of nomads, like nicknames character would know about Scott tanks. Each family
Yeah,
would
no,
probably
this is
have a
just me
number of tanks to know.
misunderstanding what was said. I thought it was scalp,
No worries, my
SCALP,
buddy.
not scop. It's like, oh,
No worries, my
worries.
buddy.
Yeah.
August is
Okay.
in to actually meet this other individual that you guys are all interrogating.
See a D10. This is okay. No, what skill was it?
Shit. I think that was electronic security, or you can also do interface, maybe too, if you wanted. Either could work here. Probably though interface, I'd say, would give you your better odds.
I know it
You
was.
already know kind of what to look for, so.
Yep.
So that'd be 17.
Well, roll that d10 again. Okay. Looking into it, yes, you do see these flags for, just like in hers, for high security as well. Although you do note a slight difference. You might be. Our sweet dear Holly might be onto something with the explosives.
Oh, what did Holly say about the explosives?
Wasn't it, or was that Captain who said about the explosives?
I don't know.
No,
August
Like,
is not
like
in
the
the room.
ID card?
No, that was at me. At a character.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the only thing involving the explosives that Holly mentioned is the fact that that's how she lost her shirt.
Fair. But yes, it does also have the high security that's on your cards.
Yes.
And she'll nod, taking this in as, now, Nay, you can make another persuasion check, please.
Let's see, double checking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then.
I think it's the
She'll
exact same roll I
nod.
got last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in this case now, there's more context for her to work with, so the DC's lower. I see. Oh. Bye. Richard, what the hell did you get us in onto this time? Okay. As you probably have already guessed, I'm not a scientist. Thorn dropped me off here so that I can help coordinate our people in the field because we had a major problem here on the go. As far as I knew, you guys were a bunch of lunkheads that went off and blew up one of our rigs. But the fact you spoke so well about individuals from the site there now, and especially the foreman of the place, good lad he is. Been with the company for now for a while. Right. Okay. Well, I can probably guess that you've already shagged my equipment here, so I can't exactly help you all that much, but I can at least let you know that there's only 5 of us here from Night City, at least in the group that Thorn brought. There's myself, Jackson, Jacoby, Delaney, and Hayes.
Who did we kill?
Now, the boss, he's running stuff out of a local hot spring not that far from here. Now you can take the cat that way if you want, but she looks at you, Scorpio. You've probably already ticked off the fact that someone was here helping me.
Yes,
Ain't
I'm
that
a
right, Mr. Hacker or Mrs. Hacker?
Could be either, really.
And I'm assuming it's one of the 5 names you mentioned.
Are
Yeah,
you a
that's
1 or a 0?
Jackson. Yeah, that's Jackson. He's a code fish, but he's a good one.
Right, and I assume Jackson has already alerted the others then if he was also monitoring this location's communication.
Chances are he probably couldn't get in touch with people out in the field, but he is down at the hot spring. He's down there now with a few of our crowd now, a few local thugs. They're there helping keep him safe, so if you wish... well... Fuck. Okay, this went as well as I hoped it wouldn't go this way, but... sounds like you're up to this some over your necks. And sounds to me like this Newman, I suppose that's the one Thorn is working with, is probably up to some absolute shite stuff. Well, your best bet would be trying to get down to the Serpentine Hot Springs and seeing what you can do down there. Because at the moment now, Jackson's using a satellite connector now to plug in back to the UAC data fortress down there. You could maybe use that to try and figure some stuff out. But it sounds to me there's an absolute gobshite amount of nonsense on the go here at the moment.
And this is an out of character thing. Correct me if I'm misremembering, but if I remember, if I'm remembering correctly from the talk I had with Robin previously, I think we did manage to come to a conclusion that the most likely motivation for this whole bullshit is some insider trading.
Yep, because remember when we first started this, we started around the same time it's supposed to take place canonically in the world, at least on the right day of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So this was taking place during Thanksgiving holiday here in Canada. So at the time now, the thing is now with the UEC stuff now, their stock exchange only works out of Vancouver. And since the holiday, the stock exchange is currently closed. So the fallout of this fiasco is going to have no problems at the moment, so someone can basically get ahead of the horribleness. At least that's what you were, I believe, able to put together.
We're a bunch of smart cookies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing though we just need now is hard evidence to back this up.
Exactly, which I think the rest of this adventure is about whether or not you can actually get that information.
At this point, since we seem to have won over this person here, I think we can potentially reasonably safely collude a little and try to see if they have any suggestions and just
well,
bring
that's what
up.
She's doing at the moment. Now she's giving you information.
Yeah, and also adding to the pile, saying that saying that we have this current running theory about the motivation for why Newman has gone through the trouble of setting this all up, and the whole theory of playing insider trading with the stock exchange being down for the holiday, and of course.
That goes way above my head, sweetheart. I work with corporate security. I'm pretty good at infiltration jobbies. I'm usually doing stuff by myself, but at the moment I'm helping out the boss and his stuff for now. Like I said, that's why I got called in on this, me and a few others here. But at the moment, the boss is out in the field now, so like I said, the only one keeping an eye on Jax at the moment is a few local jobs at the moment.
Just a thought out of character. Does anyone want to mention that we have one of her potential buddies, bounty hunters?
Yeah,
we
so
don't
far
know if
no
they're
one's really
affiliated.
talked about that with her yet.
August is just
She
sitting
hasn't
there
left the
watching him in the
kitchen
other
yet.
room.
A doctor friend has one of your co-workers out over there.
She'll blink and okay. Which group?
Hi, I'm
was it
Doctor
with?
Friend.
She'll nod at you.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you show her now, and like I said, you can probably get a name out of the guy now. But it's like she'll say like which group he's from. Okay, so
Yep.
oh yeah, they have been quiet for a bit. So
yeah, regrettably, our run-in with him was less than ideal, and we did have to defend ourselves.
well, I mean that's understandable. Given you were blown out of the sky there now, the fact that you actually took a prisoner is actually rather heartening, if I'm going to be honest with you. At least it'll make things look a little bit better for you now, but word to the wise, be careful on your way out of here while you're trying to do stuff. If you make too much of a stink there now, you know he's going to be coming down on your heads, not us.
Yeah. I think the big plan here, aside from just getting surviving this whole colossal mess, is trying our best to track down some solid evidence, and well, if we can find that and put that out there, then he might regret trying to use us as pawns. I try and do my business on the up and up. So I really don't take this kind of underhanded backstabbing too lightly.
That's understandable, and be frank with you, I'm rather pissed too to hear that one of our own is behind this job. And it sounds like there's quite a bit of stink coming off of him, but
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know this Newman you're speaking about right now. He must be one of those bigwigs up top more. Me, Thorn, and the rest of us, we're just people here on the ground doing stuff.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that. I mean, most of the people who are just trying to make it by are generally nice enough people. It's when you get to the one get to the suits up top is when you start seeing seeing things get really dark and dirty. Sadly, that's just pretty much every day down in Night City. But
that's fair. But thank you guys for being honest with me. It made this a hell of a lot easier than it could have honestly been. She'll tap her throat. I get a good read on people's voices, so the honesty is quite helpful. Made things a lot simpler to actually deal on.
Yeah, it's but It definitely helps. Although it can be a bit awkward at first, trying to get when you're both sides trying to get a feel for each other.
Ain't that thick of it, isn't it? Okay, so what's the plan now with me? Are you gonna just leave me back here, or what? You got a big group now, and I don't think there's gonna be much room for me and the guy there on the floor, so I can keep an eye on things back here if you guys want.
I'd have to check with everyone else, but I'm definitely in the part arc for going that route.
You seem fine. I'm with the lady here.
Although there will be a complimentary. Do be careful because yeah, this whole mess just stinks worse than a 10-week-old Scop dog.
You're not wrong in that regard. But she'll at least be more willing to give you sketch out a rough map for you guys of the hot springs. One minor thing to note here there now is that the actual vehicles here, like that tractor now, that's being replaced with some other vehicles that she'll talk about having seen there from when she got flown out from there and dropped off here. Sounds like your guys' rigs are left there now, that they use them to actually get themselves up to the hot springs.
They used our cars. How dare they?
They use your cars to save on time and fuel. But at
Well.
least you guys know where your rigs are to at the moment.
Now out of character, there's the moment that I want to ask who was smart enough to install a dead switch into their vehicles.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I have a switch that'll make you dead on my vehicle.
Yeah, they didn't exactly drive her one up. They just threw that on board one of the other people's vehicles. Because remember,
So it
must have
motorcycles
been
plus
just the
snow don't work too well.
Actually, I think I might have had tires for that.
Yeah. But still.
Say, because my
Let's see.
motorcycle gas you with mustard gas.
Definitely not a bike you would want to fuck with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, I also have the gas mask and everything to go against it.
God damn it! Now I'm just thinking of the scene from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I can't remember if it's from the show or the movie, but remember the old guy with the crooked nose that looked like a captain they were chasing? If you don't know, the scene is there's a button on the car with a symbol he doesn't recognize. It's like, ooh, I can't remember what this button does. He pushes it, a laser beam shoots out from the steering wheel and hits him in the chest. He looks down and goes, oh, that's how I got that. Because he was being chased down because he had a flesh wound of a hole in his chest because he was supposed to be dead. And he's like, oh, that's how I got that. He literally pushed a button on the car and it just fired a laser out of the steering wheel at the driver. Best security ever. Oh.
But now you guys have a destination in mind here now, and let's see. The UEC Data Fortress. She's not a net runner, so she doesn't know that side of things. So unfortunately, Scorpio, she can't explain anything about that to help your job be any smoother. But she will say it's a rather tough one now, and just to be careful. But yes, so what will you guys be doing there now? Because it sounds like we have a new destination in mind. And we now have a lovely vehicle we can use to get there now, while avoiding the horribleness that is the blizzard.
Well, my suggestion would be to make sure that we're stocked up as best as we can, and considering that it looks like the vehicle, everyone's vehicles were used to get up there, see if we can if we can requisition a little bit of fuel from here to make sure that the engines are all topped off once we get there.
God, General
She'll
Star.
nod and say they probably topped them off for now when they got to the hot springs. But yeah, you can take some extra fuel. There's plenty of it here.
Yeah, probably best to have it just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we can just make sure this is shared with the whole party, and so we can get a sort of a unanimous decision of, okay, this sound like a good plan for everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a destination. Get us closer to figuring out what the hell they're trying to do. Improving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it? Considering that some of your friends are down there, is there anything we can use to potentially try and get if we do come in contact with them to show that we are our friend that we are friendlies, and so they won't try and or if they don't try and shoot us on sight, at least we can get them to stop shooting at us if it comes to that.
Well, I got something you can use if you see Jackson, but honestly, you're probably more likely to see the locals than him first off. So, but if you're able to come across him now, and she'll give you a description of him now. 1 second. I'll post him. Boop boop. Jackson. If you see Jackson before the others, which I don't think you will, tell him Trogdor. That should explain things. Good, someone got a chuckle out of that one.
Making sure to write it down.
Burninate the countryside. God, I love Trogdor.
Thank you for that. Even if it's not likely that we'll need it, if we do end up happening to do so, it could be useful to have it in the back of the hand.
Say that again.
Basically saying it can still be nice to have it as an option just in case.
She'll nod and thank you for handling this as well as you did. But yeah, so she'll say, like I said, there's 3 people there with him. So, but the thing is, they're locals, so it's not that easy to guess what they're gonna do. They're more likely they're not gonna shoot you first.
Hmm. Yeah. Hopefully it won't come to that, but at the very least we'll have have more options now than we did before. But I suppose with that, it's we should getting ready to move out.
Sure not. Yeah, you're gonna want to. If people gets back here in time right now, you're gonna have a lot of bodies here. But like I said, I got no way of getting in contact with anyone at the moment, so. And the
Yeah,
only
thanks.
reason why I'm helping you guys at the moment is you're trying to make sure the company's not gonna get fucked over here. Wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing this for you.
Yeah, this Neiman guy seems to be in the mood to fuck over a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure more than a few of us here in this room have taken that personally.
Oh, definitely.
Understandable.
All right then, time for us to pack up, fuel up, and get moving. And again, you take care of yourself.
Same to you, and try not to rough up Jackson. He's a good kid, but like I said, I'd rather not see a good asset like him go down.
Yeah, we'll do our best. Hope ideally we'll see him before anyone else sees us, so we can engineer a way to get in contact non-violently.
Hmm. Sure not. And then goes to work caring for the person who's, I think he's missing a leg, is it?
I have
So I
no
believe,
idea what we did to him. All I know is he's alive.
yeah.
I'm
I
pretty sure it was a leg
Yeah.
we took off because
I think it was
that
a
was
right leg. Because, yeah,
that's
I was
why he was
rewatching.
lucky because we
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
to. Because I remember it was a bitch to get him to go because we had to balance them, or
Yeah,
we had to make a sled.
I believe the first one I one-shotted in the torso, I think.
Yeah, you did. And then your second shot was what you did to this guy.
Oh yeah, and I shot the leg off this guy, then Karl
Yeah.
knocked him out, I think.
Okay, I think with that, considering that's at this point we're going for 2.5 hours and we start a bit on the later side. This might be
Yeah.
a good spot to wrap things up for this session, and we can start the next one with us uh, heading out from here with whatever supplies as we need.
Yep, we can probably say at the moment, and like I said, you could run into some obstacles on the way down to the hot springs, but honestly, since you're going to be in the snowcat, I assume
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the weather stuff is completely mute. Like stuff like the reindeers and the musk ox is completely pointless because vroom vroom. And I
Vroom, vroom.
don't think there's any bounty hunters between you and there, so we can probably safely say you're probably able to get down to the Serpentine Hot Spring to try and deal with this Jackson guy who's here, who's the net runner that got alerted by Scorpio. Although all he knows really is that a program came after him and cut his connection to Morrison, and something was done to the local radios there now by, assumably, whoever took Dan Morrison's spot.
And to be fair, at this point, the Netrunners know there's another Netrunner.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, next session of this will be at the starting up at the Serpentine Hot Springs. Yeah, I'd say it did feel good to get back into this.
Yep.
Oh god, yes. We managed to shake off the rust, so we're at a good pointer now.
Yeah, when the next one will be, well, the age-old question as always will be scheduling.
Well, for starters, I'm probably good for the 5th. The 12th might be a question mark, but theoretically I might be good for that, but after that, like the 19th and 26th are probably definitely not ones for me.
I was about
Then
to
probably
say,
the 2nd on June might be possible. The 9th definitely would be viable.
Yeah, because I mentioned those middle ones are most likely going to be when you're not going to be available for much of anything.
Yeah, like the 19th and 26th, definitely I'm probably going to be working.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not, then they're technically viable. But that's only for April, because I'm pretty certain I'm going to be out in. Actually, wait, that'd
It's
be June,
April
wouldn't
right
it?
now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
April right now. It's May's coming up.
Yep.
So actually,
Yes.
yeah, I probably might be out by that point. But we'll have to play the latter half of that month by ear for May.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
plus, it's also a question of how many more sessions we'll need for us to complete at least this one shot campaign.
Well, I don't think the hot spring will go as long as as nowhere near as long as this, because like it's 3 people plus Jackson. The thing is, though, the UEC data fortress where you're is gonna be a funky one because that's all on Scorpio's head.
Oh no!
Fuck, I forgot the data fortress was a fucking thing.
And I got a
didn't even
map
look
here, and
at
I got a
that.
bunch of programs that are into it and such now.
Fuck, I got homework that I didn't do yet.
Yeah, I know you haven't been doing it.
You better be prepared for when it's the time for that part.
And this is where the Netrunner dies.
no.
You better not.
Oh,
You're
Just don't
essential at this
fry.
point, my buddy.
Oh, fuck,
If
that's
you bite
true.
the bullet, I'm pretty certain this adventure's just gonna go bad.
We're gonna smuggle you in. We're gonna wrap your head in tinfoil so no unwanted radio signals or whatever can penetrate.
Great, no pressure.
But yeah, I think you need to help get essentially hints at the information that we can use against Newman. Otherwise, Newman's probably gonna get away with this. Now, it really depends on how you're able to handle Jackson, it looks like. So Jackson and the Data Fortress, along with the Spring, is the next big thing. And then after that is basically trying to get you guys down to Nome, Alaska, because there's some stuff there. But
Maybe
other
if
than
we
that,
didn't brick the communications, Morrison could just contact Jackson and let him know what's up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, both sides were the same, but at the same time.
Yeah.
And there is a thing up in the
I
air
said
thermometer now
don't
that
touch for a reason, and you touched.
since you have good information, you could potentially get Thorn on your guys' side too. So that's an avenue too that could be going through. But at the moment, we don't have communication, so the only other way would be to use this satellite connection that Jackson has down at the hot spring to be able to contact him.
So basically, the strat here is for one, get in contact with Jackson successfully.
Yeah.
So that code word is going to be quite important.
Yeah, that's sort of the like way to have him not try to kill you guys. But that's him. That's not the three yokels that are with him.
So yeah, get in contact with him first, and then potentially, well, we'll have to see what the things are looking like. What's there? But yeah, the point is, Jackson, leave him untouched. Use the code word. Try and get him on our side. Possibly use him as a go-between to get in touch with this Thorn person, and see if we can get some insider help of our own, because Newman is pulling some bullshit, and well, not is he trying to screw us personally, he's trying to screw the company, and judging by the impression we got from speaking to, bring up my notes again because I'm terrible with names.
It would be Amy Morrison. She never gave her full name, but that's her actual name.
So Morrison.
Yep.
It says he seems like this Thorn does seem like the upright guy is for Corpo.
As far as you can gather at the moment, he's being duped as much as you are at the moment.
So yeah, basically get him to just reveal to him that he's been duped as well, and well, we all collectively have a certain a problem with a certain asshole who's been duping the lot of us. So
yeah,
might be so it might be best to work collectively to turn the tables on on this jerk who's gotten a bit too greedy, a bit too big for his britches.
You know, also from the this is probably going into some information from like earlier sessions now. That talk you had with the reporter, the closest spot where you can basically dial into the network and deal with the like crowd you're now involving the like stock exchange would be down in Nome, the Zurichs. So that's one reason why you'd be heading toward Nome, would be trying to gain access to that. Because if you can get there, you can basically, I'm guessing, head off on what he's trying to do here now, and so he doesn't make off with like millions. But yeah, as far as I can tell, we basically got the hot spring / data fortress. Then we have you guys trying to get down the Gnome. And then it's in Gnome proper, because, yeah. So you basically have the latter half of Chapter 4 to do, which is the hot spring / data fortress. And then Chapter 5 is essentially you guys going road warrior for a bit.
Hell
Down to
yeah!
Gnome, Alaska.
Hell yeah! Road Warrior.
I'm sure our Nomad will enjoy that segment.
Yeah, you guys are probably gonna have fun with that one now.
You Holly sticking out
You
for
know
the
what?
top of the
I'm just gonna show this little map here because it's just fun to look at. So, boop. That's just a minor, like, brief glimpse into what's ahead for you guys.
We got a really long road trip.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be a one-shot?
This is a one-shot campaign. It's all in one just book. It's only
Oh,
64
okay.
pages
It's not a
long,
one
so
session.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's an actual like pre-made adventure.
It's a
Yep.
self-contained module, essentially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, the
Yeah.
only downside with this road trip is you could get up to a lot of fucky-wucky shit because, hey, you're not dealing with just corpo nonsense at the moment. You're dealing with the local state troopers and the National Guard.
Oh god, they are
Canada?
probably
Oh.
pissed.
Yeah. So yeah, we're actually in like the last like chapter and a half of this adventure.
So we're making good progress.
Oh, definitely.
This is
Yeah, 'cause
what,
this is our
third session?
fourth session. We're getting, and we're this far into chapter 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, good progress.
Yep, like I said, we're basically at the midway point of chapter 4, but like I said, the big thing at the moment here now is whether or not our Netrunner can actually do her job in the data fortress.
Which is one of the reasons why getting Jackson on board might be warranted, because might be nice to have a second net runner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see that's pretty much one of the first goals for the next one. Try and get Jackson on our side to help us especially to consolidate, help with the data fortress, and try and get Thorn on our side as well, because Newman's screwing over everybody. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to think about it, Newman's methods of turning everybody against everybody to reach your goal, it technically is smart. In the chaos, you don't really know who's at fault.
yep, but he seemed to underestimate that there are people out there who, with cooler heads than he does, who are willing to try and talk things out before going all guns blazing.
All right.
Probably assumed that we'd be that he'd just hire a bunch of dumb gun-toting edge runners, and not that we actually use the old gray matter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have that much of that left.
I mean, with all due respect, that's probably one of the reasons that made him falsely assume we were all dumb edge runners.
Yeah, Holly did sort of help with the underestimation of the group.
Yeah.
So yeah, to our benefit, perhaps I'd say.
He
Probably so.
underestimated the rest of the group all because Holly's a dumbass.
A lovable dumbass, but still a dum-dum.
Mm-hmm.
But she will help try to get the the Netrunner to join us.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It might take a
actually,
couple
that's an
hours.
interesting avenue I didn't even think about. That's actually probably a viable approach to this. Throw hot deer at him. That might actually solve it.
Just be careful how you throw her.
Okay, let me actually read his thing again here now.
Give me 5 minutes. Or maybe an hour if he's
No.
lucky.
No.
Just try not to forget the code word.
Yeah. Hmm.
If he's
Okay,
like most
interesting.
edge run,
Yeah.
Interesting
He's like
description
most-
of him, though. Oh, go ahead.
if he's like most net runners, 5 minutes might be generous.
Yeah. He is described as being a thin, somewhat effeminate young man with pale skin and a flat-lined demeanor. He doesn't speak that much. Hmm. But yeah, he is a hardcore nerd. Jesus, his physical stats aren't too bad but yeah, it looks like his lowest stats are actually his movement allowance, his luck, and his empathy.
Hmm.
They're still decent at a decent level, but definitely the lowest out of the other ones. But he's basically similar to our brainy kitty cat, at least in the brains department. Hmm. But are we off here now?
Yeah, we're technically still, so we still just need to do the usual close up bits.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okie dokie.
So, yeah, gotta give the round of thanks. Thank you to Orst for GMing this for us. It's been a fun one,
Always happy to help.
and to all the other players here. Here, going down the list: Captain, Magus, Scorpio, Karl, and Nickname.
And
And a thank you to everyone who came by to watch this stream. Hope you all had a good time, and until the next one, take care now. Bye bye.
Bye
Any
bye.
outro you want to do for yours, Magus?
yep. And to anybody who hopped in on my side, thank you for coming, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.